There is something wrong, and you have known it for a long time. Not wrong with your circumstances, not wrong with your relationships or your career or the choices you've made. Wrong at a level beneath all of that. Something in the foundation. A quiet, persistent wrongness that no amount of therapy or success or love has ever fully reached. You've tried. You have genuinely tried. And still, at 3 in the morning, when the defenses of the day finally give way, there it is. That hollow space, that wordless ache that doesn't have a name, but that you would recognize anywhere, because it has been with you for as long as you can remember. Carl Jung spent his entire life trying to understand that ache, and what he found will change the way you understand yourself completely. Stay with me, because this is not about blame. When this is about something far more important than blame, this is about the truth. Jung and his student Erich Neumann identified something they called the Great Mother Archetype. Not your personal mother, something older, deeper, a primordial image embedded in every human psyche since the beginning of our species, the psychic blueprint for what mother means at the most fundamental level of existence. The good mother. Warmth, safety, nourishment, the felt sense, not just the thought, but the cellular, bodily conviction that you are welcome here, that the ground beneath your feet is solid, that you, simply by existing, are enough. The terrible mother, devouring, abandoning, cold. The dark presence that whispers, before you have words to understand what you are hearing, you are not enough. You never will be. The ground could give way at any moment. Both faces, one archetype, living inside every human being. In healthy development, your actual mother carries the good mother into you. She provides what psychologists call containment, a consistent, safe emotional presence that your developing nervous system can borrow from. Her calm becomes your calm. Her safety becomes your safety. You internalize the good mother, and she becomes a home you carry inside yourself for the rest of your life. But when your mother, for whatever reason, her own trauma, her own unhealed wound, her own mother who could not give her what she needed, when she cannot provide that containment, something devastating happens. You don't internalize the good mother, you internalize the terrible mother instead. And here is what makes this so difficult to see. This doesn't happen as a thought. It happens in the pre-verbal body, before language, before memory, before you had any framework to question what you were learning. It doesn't feel like a wound. It feels like reality. It feels like who you are. Let me be direct with you now. That inner voice, the one that catalogs your failures with devastating efficiency, the one that meets every tender new hope you have, with suspicion or ridicule, or an impossibly high standard that shifts the moment you reach it. The one that speaks most clearly at 3 in the morning when you cannot argue back. That voice is not the truth about you. That is the terrible mother, internalized. Speaking with your own syntax, in your own cadence, so thoroughly woven into your identity that you stopped questioning it years ago. You called it your personality. You called it being realistic. You called it just the way I am. It isn't who you are, it is what you survived. And it is shaping your life right now in ways you may not yet fully see. The relationships you choose. Do they feel familiar in a way that quietly hurts? The partner who cannot quite fully show up. The friendship that requires you to be smaller than you are. The pattern, the specific, recurring, exhausting pattern of almost receiving what you need and then watching it fall just short. That is not bad luck. That is the mother complex recreating the original wound with remarkable precision. The psyche returning again and again to the scene of what was unfinished, believing beneath all conscious awareness that this time it will finally resolve, that this time the absent one will stay. Jung said it plainly. What we do not make conscious will come to us as fate. The pattern does not stop until the wound is seen. Here is what nobody tells you about the mother wound. It does not live only in your mind. It does not live only in your relationship patterns, or your inner critic, or the hollow space you have learned to carry quietly. It lives in your body, in your muscles, in the breath that has been stopping just short of full for years. in the shoulders that are slightly lifted, even now, even in a moment that should feel safe. The wound is pre-verbal, which means it was encoded before language could give it shape, which means language alone cannot reach it. This is why you can understand your wound with perfect precision and still feel it arrive in your chest the moment someone you love turns away. You can narrate your history with eloquence and still brace, automatically, without choosing to. The mind understands, the body remembers, and healing must eventually reach the body. Trauma researcher Peter Levine showed us that the body stores what the psyche cannot process, not as a narrative memory, but as a physical state, a perpetual readiness for a threat that the nervous system believes never fully passed. The mother wound, when it is this early and this deep, is almost entirely somatic. It lives in the tissue, which means the path to healing is not only intellectual, it is experiential. It is the slow, patient work of teaching a nervous system that calibrated itself around unpredictability that the world, right now, is safe enough to exhale into. Now, I need to tell you the most important thing in this entire video. The mother wound is not about your mother. Stay with me. Your mother is real. Her impact is real. The specific shape of your wound is directly related to the specific shape of her limitations. None of that changes. But at its deepest level, beneath the personal history, beneath the specific failures and absences, the mother wound is about the self's disconnection from its own innate capacity to nurture itself. It is the wound of a being who was taught, before it could question the lesson, that safety must come from outside, that worth must be confirmed by another, that the good mother is somewhere out there in the world. Try in the right relationship, or the right achievement, or the right version of yourself you haven't quite managed to become yet, and that you must find her there, because she does not live in you. That teaching is false. It was always false. The good mother is not something you are still waiting to receive. She is a latent capacity within you. She always was. The wound buried her, but it did not destroy her. You cannot destroy an archetype. She is part of the psychic inheritance of every human being who has ever lived, including you. And this is why blame is a trap. Not because your mother doesn't bear responsibility for her limitations, but because as long as healing depends on her acknowledgement, her apology, her change, the healing is held hostage to someone else's journey. She may never take that journey, and your life cannot wait. The wound lives inside you. The healing must happen inside you. That is not unfair. That is simply where the work actually is. Remothering yourself, turning toward your own inner experience with the quality of attention the good enough mother should have provided. This is not self-help language. This is a structural reorganization of the psyche. It is the excavation of the good mother from beneath the weight of everything the wound stacked on top of her. It is the most important work available to a human life. Here's the deepest truth I can offer you. Every person who heals the mother wound does not only heal themselves, the wound does not begin with your mother. It runs back through generations, a thread of unmet need, passed forward the only way it knows how, not through malice, through the simple, heartbreaking mathematics of being unable to give what you yourself never received. Your mother could not give you what she didn't have. Her mother could not give her what she didn't have. And so it travels, until someone stops, until someone develops enough consciousness, enough language for the wound, enough willingness to look directly at what is painful rather than passing it forward in the dark, until someone decides that the chain ends here, that someone is you, not because you are extraordinary, because you are here doing this, which is already more than most people ever do. The hollow space does not fill all at once. The bracing in your body does not release overnight. The terrible mother's voice does not fall silent the moment you understand where it came from. But something shifts, something begins, and what begins? Slowly. You imperfectly, with the extraordinary courage of a person choosing to take their own interior life seriously, is a life no longer organized around the wound. A life organized around the self that was always there, beneath the wound, Beneath the armor, beneath the years of searching for outside what was always available from within, she was never lost. She was waiting, and she is ready.